This classic episode of the Electric Playground is brought to you by PNP Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support Electric Playground. Remember, this episode first aired in 2000. This week on Electric Playground, we feature Knockout Kings 2001 for the PlayStation 2, Half-Life for the Dreamcast. We take a look at Microsoft's new controllers for the PC. We talk to the infamous Fat Man. And Tommy and Vic have a ball with the reviews.
Over at Black Ops worked on Knockout Kings 2000 for the N64. Well, EA loved it so much that they're letting them do the next one for PlayStation 2 called Knockout Kings 2001, a boxing odyssey. Yeah.
Gotta take me into this place, man. This place looks amazing.
Yeah, we scouted this for the Knockout Kings game.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It's Wild Card Boxing Club, downtown Hollywood. This is where you guys came to do all the photo. Look at this place. Yeah. This is incredible.
This is a real boxing team.
Pretty much every boxing pro you can imagine is in this game.
We've got Lennox Lewis, Sugar Shane Mosley, Oscar De La Hoya, Vernon Forrest, Christy Martin, Lucy Riker. The list goes on and on. The laser scan gives us a pretty high-resolution, detailed model that looks actually like they really appear in real life.
It's not just going to be artist impressions of what these people look like. Right. They're going to look like the people.
Fernando Vargas plays games, and I said, "Hey, what do you want in your shorts?" He's like, "Papas y Amado." He's like, he wants Papas on the front and Amado for love on the back. So. We actually talked to the fighters in De La Hoya. He's got the Mexican flag mouth guard. Yeah. So all the different fighters have a couple little nuances they like to work into the game. So it's great working with them because we're able to actually get those nuances directly from the fighter, not through some big committee and some agent. Lennox Lewis played Knockout Kings on the Nintendo 64 before the Holyfield fight to sort of psych himself up and just practice the strategy.
Let's talk about the differences in the play dynamic and what are people going to be seeing in a PlayStation 2 version of Knockout Kings that they haven't seen anywhere else before?
The main thing really is more reality. Yeah. More reality, but without sacrificing the gameplay. We've got 5 different types of styles. We have freestyle, we have a slugger style, we have a boxer style. There's a lot of cool new moves in there. So, for example, you can lean back, whereas in the Nintendo version you couldn't. We didn't have enough space and this and that. It's going to play great. It's going to be so fast, 60 frames a second. When you see a punch come past the screen in close range, it's like, whoa. I've seen people playing it and they're like, whoa.
That's so great. And you're going to add, for the arcade stuff, you're going to add all kinds of flashy graphic extras and stuff like that.
In the Slugfest mode, it's more of an over-the-top arcade mode. We want to, because it's back on the PlayStation as opposed to the Nintendo, and it'll skew a little older. Right. We wanted to kind of split it. And we were in agreement with EA on that so that we could basically have simulation as well as the over-the-top. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
You want all the weapons for Turok 3 for N64? Listen carefully. Select secrets from the main menu, then enter these animals in the following order. The yellow owl, the orange bear, the yellow owl, the teal bug, the purple bird, the yellow owl. Start your game, pause, go back to the main menu, select secrets again, turn on all your weapons, and voila!
Coming up after the break, Dreamcast owners get a life. Half a life. Half-Life, yes.
Come in. Those fantastic N64 controllers you ordered came in. Wait, did you buy another Dreamcast? Oh, this is my office Dreamcast. That's funny. What's that? The ultimate gaming system. The best achievable or imaginable of its kind. Yeah, but ultimate also means final, like the end. What are you getting at? No, it's just with 4 major consoles competing, how long before one of them drops out? Like, wouldn't it be ironic if? We don't disparage Sega in this office. No offense intended. Oh, PvPGamesOnline.com. Your source for everything video games, be it N64, PlayStation, Dreamcast, or even Game Boy. Browse hundreds of video games on sale now. Prices in Canadian dollars. PvPGamesOnline.com. I'm sure Sega's gonna be just fine. Just go.
Half-Life on the Dreamcast is cool because not only does it have the old Half-Life game, which we've all grown to love, but it also has a completely new adventure, all in the same game. So I'm here with Randy Pitchford. We're talking about Half-Life. Now, what's this whole Blue Shift?
Blue Shift is an entirely new episode that's included with Half-Life for Dreamcast. Half-Life for Dreamcast is almost like getting 2 games for the price of 1.
Do you have to play through the original Half-Life to get to your game first?
No, actually, you can play them both at any time you want to. There's probably a lot of fans of Half-Life that played it on the PC that will probably be getting this just to play with the new stuff, right?
Sure.
So, you know, we don't want to force them to play Half-Life again if they just want to skip to the new stuff.
So talk to me about Blue Shift, though, because it's not a prequel, it's not a sequel.
Right. In the original Half-Life, Gordon is a scientist, and he goes to work, sort of like a regular day, in the Black Mesa research facility. And he's involved in this experiment, which ends up causing a gigantic accident, which tears a rift between an alien world and Earth. Blue Shift, you play the role of Barney, the security guard. You go to work, just like Gordon did. Things seem normal, and then the accident happens, and all hell breaks loose.
During the intro of the Blue Shift version of Half-Life, you actually see what was going on in the original Half-Life.
Yeah, since the games take place at the same time, it allows us to do some interesting plot crossovers where the Barney character can interact with Gordon and vice versa. The one you're referring to is probably memorable to everyone who played Half-Life. In the original Half-Life game, Gordon rides to work, and there's a scene at the very beginning where he drives past a security guard who's locked out. So the security guard's banging on the door. That's Barney. When you play as Barney, you're that security guard. So now you're on the platform looking back as Gordon drives by. It's really cool stuff.
The models that you guys built seem to be a lot more detailed than the ones that were in the original Half-Life.
Yeah, the original Half-Life was sort of limited by the PC system requirements at the time. So when we're making a version explicitly for the Dreamcast, that allowed us to increase the detail quite a bit. We've taken all the characters, we've doubled the number of polygons that they're built out of, increased their texture detail, added extra animation articulation. We just wanted them to look great.
This right here, like this is the old...
Yeah, this is Barney from the original game, and Barney was really cool.
He looks kind of dead looking.
Well, that's a question of style. The art style in the game was very distinct, deep shadows and strong highlights. In the Dreamcast version, it's a little bit more realistic.
So same guy, this is original Half-Life.
This is some of the other characters in the Dreamcast version of the game. The G-Man standing in the middle, he's the mysterious ringleader of all the events of Black Mesa. Soldiers on the left side there, and scientists on the right.
Let me ask you this. I want to get a copy of this, and I want everybody on the team to sign it, and we'll give it away on our website or our TV show.
I think we can do that. Sure.
Can do that?
Sure, we can manage that.
Haha, cool. Well, there you have it. Here's the bomb.
You got to be careful with that. That's actually. Yeah, I think I want to stand back here. Just set it down.
Visit our website at www.electplay.com.
Microsoft is coming out with a couple of new peripherals for game players like you and me. And they're called... That's the Sidewinders.
Hey, we're in Redmond, Washington at Microsoft. I'm with Isabella Carniato, and she is going to tell us all about the new Sidewinder Game Voice, which allows you to do a lot more than just talk to your PC.
And not only does it let you talk to your PC with voice commands, but it also lets you talk to your friends over the internet while you're playing a game. We've got a great headset with a voice recognition quality microphone.
Cool.
It also comes with a control pad. And this control pad's pretty cool because what it allows you to do is it allows you to organize your conversations into channels or sort of chat rooms. so that I can have a group of buddies on channel 1, maybe my best friend on channel 2, some guy on the other team on channel 3, and maybe all my gunners if I'm playing a flight sim type game on channel 4.
And you can have all that running at the same time.
All that running at the same time, and by hitting one of these buttons, I'm talking just to the people on those channels.
So how would Game Voice work with a game like Age of Empires 2 here?
I can select this little guy here and ask him to build a house. Build house.
You don't have to say please or anything?
No, you just order them. A better device for a game like Age of Empires or Age of Kings is actually Strategic Commander. It's the first device that we've designed for strategy games. It allows you to move the map around with the top pod. It also, for three-dimensional games, for 3D strategy games, it also brings twist and a zoom in and a zoom out. The other thing that you almost have your finger on is a record on the fly button. Which when you look for a free key.
Hello? Hello?
No, not the kind of recording.
No.
So you look for a free key, the ones that aren't lit up, and you hit the record button if you're in the middle of a game and you say you really needed some galleons.
You say, I really need some galleons, and then this thing would tell you that it's all good.
Hurry up with the galleons!
You know what's cool about being a gamer is we get the best stuff. We get the coolest stuff. After the break, we have Fat Man. I'm Fat Man.
Hey, what's your favorite video game of all time? No way, that's mine too! Celebrate video games along with myself and Victor Lucas every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on youtube.com/EPNTV. Brought to you in part proudly by PNP Games. Play forever!
George Sanger has been doing video game music for over a decade now. He's got to be one of my favorite personalities in the entire industry. A little bit too serious, but ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself for the Fat Man. All right, well, I'm here today visiting George, the Fat Man Sanger, here in Austin, Texas. And here he is now.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
How's it going?
Yeah, I hope you had a good ride over here, man.
Yeah, your driver took real good care of me.
He's a good fella.
He is a good
Jim
fellow. So, hey, I want to find out all about your studio.
You know, I'm all about equipment. The heart of the system is the Holy Grailic interactivator. Now, this makes the difference between linear music and interactive music. It can turn actually from linear to compelling. It's got a killer app knob also that goes from MIDI, but this is actually spelled M1V1. I think they made a mistake there, to 5.2. The compatibility, which really solves the fact that PCs kind of break sometimes.
Right.
This goes from PC, but you can turn it all the way up to where it will only break as often as your toaster. My compressors have compression, but they also have throttle, brakes, and horsepower. The company that custom makes my equipment for me is called Funk Logic, and I don't know where I'd be without them. The one thing that really sets these apart from other pieces of equipment, they're quiet. Now, if you ever open up your boy's life and see an ad for electric guitar and amp for $12.95, I want you to know that's what you get.
Where's the amp?
Oh, it's a little shoebox thing. I think it decayed. My daughter painted this. So if any of you guys are 6 years old, you're old enough to paint your daddy's guitar. This belonged to Tennessee Ernie Ford, but there really isn't much to say about it. That's a 64 something. This one goes up to 11. Now, Tommy, I know your wall's bigger.
This is all the games that you've worked on, done the music for.
Don't touch that.
Whoa.
Okay. In fact, I think you need to take my hat off.
Oh, right,
you
sorry.
Hold it like that respectfully.
Seventh Guest, Wing Commander, NASCAR Racing, 11th Hour, which was the follow-up to Seventh Guest.
That's
now,
right.
let's talk about Seventh Guest was the very first General MIDI game. Explain what General MIDI is for everyone.
Well, the first thing to crash a computer is your sound card.
Okay.
And one of the things that makes it crash is all those different kinds of sound cards. And one of the things that made it really hard for us as game composers, as you know, back in the early 20s, back before the turn of the century, was that we had to write a different version of the music for every single sound card.
Sucked.
I was complaining about that to my friends at Roland, and they said, well, George, why don't you just write for this new sound card sound canvas? It's General MIDI.
Yeah.
I said, well, okay, General MIDI, I'll do that.
I see an Intellivision game up there. What was the very first video game you worked on?
Well, that was it, Toby.
That was the
Thin
first
Ice.
game.
Right there.
Let me ask you this. How did you get the name Fat Man?
Tommy, to tell you the truth, I wanted to be called the Fast Man.
Uh-huh.
And I sent out for my business cards, and I was kind of broke, and it came back the Fat Man. It was a typo.
Really?
It's like, well, go with it. Can't afford to redo these.
Visit our website at www.electplay.com.
Hey, it's time for the Tekken Tag Tournament Move of the Week. This week we got one for you from Ling Xiaoyu. Ready? It's a wave crest heavy, then a phoenix, then a one flower power, then a backward right jab, another backward right jab, a backward left jab, and then an X marks the spot. Yeah! Okay, here's the moves. Starts with a down, then a left punch plus right punch, down, left punch plus right punch, down, left punch plus right punch, up, right kick, while rising, right punch, left punch, forward, left punch plus right punch, and a left punch plus right punch. That's X for Xiaoyu, baby!
Hey Vampire Hunters, this is Blade for Game Boy Color from Activision. They did a great job with Spider-Man on PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and the Game Boy. Blade's even cooler than Spider-Man was on the Game Boy Color. The deal here is it's kind of like a Final Fight, sort of kick and punch kind of game, except you're Blade, and he's a tough guy, played by Wesley Snipes in a movie, one of my favorite films. This game's a little bit cuter because it's on the Game Boy Color. You got sort of little blocky little character cartoon guys. They mix it up a little bit. There's the side-scrolling fighting mode, and there's also a shooting mode where Blade's standing here like this, and he has to shoot into the screen and to the left and right like that. And there's also a sword hacking mode as well. Beautiful looking graphics for such a small screen. Blade is a lot more fun than I expected it to be. 8 out of 10. Great job, Activision.
After the break, Tommy and I have a big ball with the reviews.
By the time I really got into video games, it was already the 16-bit console generation. Arcade classics like Tempest here, while released in 1981 and only 10 years old, were already being talked about like their grandpa's video games. So what were video games like 10 years before now? The year 2000. In the year 1990, top-grossing arcade game statistics were still tracked. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for North America, Final Fight for Japan, by the way. The Nintendo Entertainment System sold nearly 9 million units that year. It and the Game Boy dominated the sales charts. What was the best-selling game on the NES in 1990? Super Mario Bros. 3. What's wild is the Super Nintendo and Super Mario World would release in North America just over a year and a half later in the summer of 1991. Just 10 years on from Madden for the Super Nintendo, we have Madden 2001 for the PS2 with realistic graphics, motion capture, and the players don't start to flicker if there are too many of them on screen. What a leap! What will video games be like 10 years from now? Relive gaming history 1 week at a time with the Electric Playground Classic. Thank you for your continued support of EP and past and present games. Shop pnpgamesonline.com, your source for everything video games. Play forever.
Reviews on the Run is brought to you by Microplay, where the games begin.
Let's talk about No One Lives Forever from Fox and Monolith for PC. What'd you think, buddy?
Wow, now here's a great game.
Definitely. I love the gadgets in this game. A lipstick grenade, how cool is that? Or a barrette that has poison on the end of it.
This is a thinking man's game.
Yes, it is.
The graphics are beautiful. The locations are beautiful. It's almost like a cross between GoldenEye and like Deus Ex or Thief.
Not only is the script excellent in No One Lives Forever, but all the voice acting is fabulous.
Are you sure? I am.
Coolest thing is the locations though, man. You start off in Morocco. How awesome is that? You start taking out the bad guys as quickly as you can. It has a cool multiplayer mode to it as well, but it is so much like every other multiplayer first-person shooter game. It sort of misses some of the cool single-player elements, all the dialogue and all the character stuff that's in the one-player game.
The great part about the one-player game is the sneaking around, the sniper rifle, the dialogue, the cutscenes, and you get none of that in the multiplayer.
No.
But I mean, I'm not one, I don't care about multiplayer. For me, it's all about a great game, and this is a great game. I give it a 9.6.
Oh, I love it too. I'm going to give it a 9.5.
It's going to be up there with Deus Ex's PC Game of the Year, I think.
Easily. All right, now let's talk about another first-person shooter, Quake 3 Arena from Sega, Activision, and id.
And I know these games are like so popular and everybody likes them.
Way popular.
I hate them! All you do is go around, killing computer AI characters. The reason you play games like this is so you get this online experience with other people. But when we tried to go online,
there was problems.
I mean, it kicked us off.
We kept getting kicked off.
It would stop.
It isn't the most enjoyable sort of arena combat that I've played, but I like the game, and it's a very, very close port of what you'll get on the PC. What Carmack and his group have done at id is strip away all the single-player stuff. There's no story in Quake 3. You'll have the multiplayer options with split-screen mode with human opponents at home if you want that. You'll also learn how to play the game against computer bots. I will say this about the control. You'll feel like a spastic chicken if you try to use the game controller. You definitely need a keyboard mouse. I'd still prefer playing it on the PC, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
It's an awful game overall.
No, it's not awful.
I give it a 3.
So let's talk about Unreal Tournament now for the PlayStation 2.
Hey, look, when you have games like No One Lives Forever,
or The World Is Not Enough,
GoldenEye,
yeah.
Deus Ex, Thief, these are great experiences. This, again, is just mindless shooting Twitch game. You don't go pick up a key to unlock a door, to sniper. All you do is...
This was the concept behind it. It's a fighting game.
It's a dumb concept. It feels to me like
it's a great concept. If you can have a good time just beating up on your buddies or beating up on the computer.
Because it's not fun.
It is
after
fun.
5 minutes.
Millions of people disagree with you, man.
I know they do, and that's fine. I'm just saying.
These are both fun games.
I know I'm going against the grain here.
I liked Unreal Tournament on the PlayStation 2 better than Quake 3 Arena on Dreamcast.
I agree.
I'm gonna give this game an 8 out of 10, mostly because you can play with your USB mouse and keyboard, and it's really cool.
I give it a 5 overall. I liked it better than Quake 3. It's a little more gray than brown, and I like gray better than brown.
All right, let's talk about Mickey Speedway USA for Nintendo 64.
Really? Let's talk about Mickey Speedway USA! Well, look, the problem is this. I'm so sick of these big head, what do we got? Woody Woodpecker. They're even doing it to the Star Wars characters.
I know.
What would have made it cool is if
it was a good game.
Well, no, that too.
Yeah.
But no, what would have made it cool is, why didn't they have the locations be like Pirates of the Caribbean or Space Mountain?
You're expecting that Rare is going to take this kart racing theme with this Disney license and make it a much better game than Diddy Kong Racing or Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing. In fact, it's not as good as any of those. You know, you do get about 20 tracks in there. There's a battle mode for multiplayer. It's the exact Mario Kart routine that we're all used to.
Well, the thing is that I think this game was supposed to be for a younger audience.
Yeah.
But the reality is that it's
too hard.
It's hard.
It's a major disappointment. 7 out of 10 for me. Go.
I give it a 4.
All right. Well, let's talk about Midnight Club Racing for PlayStation 2.
The city is really a miniature version of New York City. I mean, you can go to Times Square, you can go to Central Park.
It is a very, very close approximation of what these cities actually look
like.
Yeah,
it's like a smaller scaled down version.
And it's almost like going to the locations and actually being there. Everything takes place at night, which was kind of a problem for me. It can be a little bit hard to sort of make out the detail and where you're supposed to drive.
What we did for the first 20 minutes is just look around for people on the side of the street.
And they'll dive out of the way.
And they dive out of the way, but then you can clip them and they go flying up in the air. I mean, this is great fun. So you'll find yourself just driving, which is neat, which is rare in a video game where you just kind of like drive around and you don't care what the mission is, you just want to drive around and have your own fun.
I really enjoyed Midnight Club. I didn't like it as much as Smuggler's Run, so I'd recommend that people pick up Smuggler's Run first, but I'm still going to give Midnight Club a 7.5 out of 10. Great effort on PlayStation 2.
8.4 for me.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun. It's a simple game. You get into it. It's good stuff.
Cool. All right, let's talk about NBA 2K1 from Visual Concepts for the Dreamcast, the latest basketball game.
Oh, I mean, I think it looks really good, but I definitely lots of gameplay issues in this thing, especially in like 2-player mode when you're playing somebody. All you do is you just go back and forth and scoring on each other. And when you do play the computer, it seems like the AI is too hard. They you're trying to get in the key and it's like they just don't let you in.
I am impressed because I think basketball is one of the toughest sports to get right in the video game world.
That's true, it is.
If you're always scoring, you get bored of the game real quickly. And every other basketball game in existence, it's relatively easy to beat the AI, the computer opponents.
If you get a goal in hockey or a goal in soccer, you're like,
or a touchdown in football.
in Madden.
This is the toughest defensive opponents I've ever had to face in a
But
computer video game.
and it's also the hardest defense, though, to play if you're playing defense. The online thing I had a problem with.
Online
once
didn't
again,
work
you know,
again.
this one was better than Quake 3, a lot better than Quake 3, because
Yes.
at least we could play it. It's very
Probably
strange
there's
because
more
there is
people on Quake 3.
there is latency there.
What's most fun about this game is that it has the great multiplayer gameplay. You're going to be able to play with 4 players, and it gives you all of the bonuses that you want. Plus, it lets you play on some authentically modeled street courts from all over the United States. I'm going to give NBA 2K1 a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh.
It's my favorite console basketball game so far.
I think you're just impressed with the graphics. I give
It's
it a
good.
7.9. Doesn't quite get an 8.
Oh, it's a great game.
I thought we were supposed to do the reviews on the top of that ball.
How are you going to get us up there?
I'll get us up there.
All right.
I might need your help. Come on, let's do it.
All right.
Whoa! Go! Okay, maybe I can't climb this.
You can find all the games featured in Reviews on the Run and hundreds more at all Microplay locations across North America and at microplay.com.
Okay, check it out. Next week, we have an exclusive for you. We're gonna do a story about, are you ready for this? The creation of a video game.
Production assistance for Electric Playground is provided by Namco, creators of Tekken Tag Tournament for PlayStation 2. Activision, creators of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and Spider-Man. Dreamcast, creators of NFL 2K1 and Jet Grind Radio.
4 out of 10 on the old very loud meter. What do you think of that plane?
I don't like the textures. I mean, it's very silver.
It doesn't look real.
It's just all
No,
silver.
it's not very realistic.
It's I mean, there's no animation to that plane
No.
whatsoever.
They could have added some smoke or a
The-
big sign on the end of it.
physics are just crap.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it just doesn't look. I mean, usually those planes are white.
And
This one's silver.
how do you shoot it down?
Well, where's the light?
Where's the weapons?
There's no lights, there's no snow clouds.
Sucks.
Totally awful.
I'd never buy that.
Give me that!
This classic episode of the Electric Playground was brought to you by P&P Games, your source for everything video games. Support the partners that support the Electric Playground. Thanks for watching, and play forever.